It was another weekend without a super major this week, but there was still plenty going on in the world of Smash. This week, we take a look at a few worldwide events, including a truly international affair in England, an eventful regional in Japan, and a rather moist competition for a Panda Cup finale spot in Seattle, and all the upsets and losers runs that made this weekend one to remember around the world. Today, our attention centers on London, England, and Boss Battles Phase 1, a tournament whose top 16 featured representatives from a whopping 8 different countries despite fielding just 171 entrants. With top players from Mexico and the United States joining some of Europe's strongest, there was plenty of regional and national pride on the line this weekend. In the end, just about the only thing in the main bracket that went as planned was Siski's win as the top seed. Siski won his third bracket of the year of over 100 players, along with his wins at Wanted S5C1 and Gameopolis, and was taken to Game 5 just twice. Once by SkyJ in Grand Finals, more on how he got there in a bit, and once by French Pac-Man player Modzai in his very first best-of-5 set of the day. All told, Siski took down 4 PGR EU players, 1 PGR NA player, and one of the best players in Australia in Srix to take home a truly international victory in which very little was ever in doubt. While Siski was making quick work of the upper bracket, it was pure chaos down below. RMH Henry K, a Welsh Wario player, sent SkyJ to loser's bracket before pools were even finished, an upset factor 8 win that would wind up tying for the tournament's biggest upset. Mittens, a rising Kazuya player, took out the UK's top Steve, Mazebeans, prior to the conclusion of pool play, an upset factor 4 win. Solid Gamer, a Banjo-Kazooie and Min Min player, used the bear and the bird to send J-Dizzle to losers, an upset factor 3 win. Both young Brits would go on to finish 9th, with Mittens claiming an SPR of +5 and Solid Gamer an SPR of +4, tying for highest and third highest in the bracket this weekend respectively. And then, in his first match out of pools, Lucretio, long one of the UK's top Rob players, earned a career-defining upset, picking up the other upset factor 8 win of the day with a shocking 2-1 victory over Fatality. While Lucretio's attendance at majors has been minimal in the Ultimate era, and he says his main focus going forward will continue to be on Melee, he has nonetheless been an influential player for the Rob meta, always labbing and developing new techniques with the robot. He bowed out at 17th, but whenever he shows up, expect him to make his presence felt, as he did with the biggest win of his Ultimate career this weekend. Fatality took his best shot at a loser's run, dispatching Allison, Ryukai, J-Dizzle, and Pulte, but blocking his path to top 8 was Sandro, the Austrian Bowser player who was hot off an upset win over Bloom Forever just last week at Ultimate Wanted 4. Sandro didn't just add to his upset collection and block the only American player in the bracket from top 8, he did it in a 3-0 fashion, and now has wins on PGR players from 2 continents. He would fall to SkyJ for 7th, but as you'll see, there's no shame in that given the new beast that SkyJ became in losers. But first, we have to talk about the breakout performance from the Australian Sephiroth player Srix, a strong Australian player who made 5th on the country's pre-quarantine rankings as a Roy user in the pre-Sephiroth days. Srix's first major outside of Australia was the first leg of the current Australian Smashers European Tour, Ultimate Wanted 4, where he took a respectable 17th with losses to T and Fatality and a strong upset over the French Leon. Srix didn't just add more names to his PGR EU hit list through his upsets on Luigi, Tarek, and Mazebeans. He also took out one of North America's best players, Chag, holding on to take a viciously tense Game 5 against one of the world's best Palutenas before bowing out at 4th. One of the best international runs we've ever seen from an Australian Ultimate player. For more on his run, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we'll be taking a deeper look at Srix's Sephiroth and the unique way he uses stage control to his advantage later this week. The UK's best Sonic, Pelly,
I'm British,
returned to form in a big way. After failing to make his seed at his past 3 offline events of at least 100 players, Pelly took down Tarek and Mittens before an emphatic 3-0 over Chag to punch his ticket to winners finals. Another PGR NA win for Pelly to go with his win over Base Mage at Battle of BC4. When Pelly brings his A-game, he's among the best players in the world, and he proved that once again this past Saturday. Finally, we return to SkyJ, who we last saw heading down to losers bracket in pools. Let's take a look and see what's in his path, and... Oh my god! Across 11 sets, yes, you heard me right, 11 sets in losers, SkyJ dropped all of 5 games. Now, because there always has to be drama, those 5 games were split across 3 sets, all 3 of which went to an elimination game, but SkyJ swept them all. Of the 11 sets he won, 8 were best of 5, a truly incredible feat of stamina that ended with a 3-0 over Pelly. The 11-set losers run matches a few from the post-quarantine landscape. Gluttony did it in a run to second at Vienna Challengers Arena 2021. DeBuzz did it in a run to fourth at Double Down, and Anathema did it in a run to second place at Rise and Grind just a couple weeks ago. SkyJ did it at a smaller event, but that also means he had to pull it together and play all of those sets in the course of a single day. The mental fortitude required to pull yourself together after dropping just your second set of the day and bring it all the way back to second place is nothing short of staggering. Now, we move east to the biggest tournament of the week, Wave Number 2, featuring over 200 entrants in Japan. For a 200-person tournament, Wave Number 2 was stacked, with a mix of old school and new school talent drawing in viewers regardless of when they were most active in the scene. Former PGR players T, Raito, and Chaco were all in attendance, as were post-lockdown scene staples like Takara, Ashimo, and Subo. And that was just the surface of what happened this weekend. Shuton bridged the gap between old and new school and crushed the competition this week, using his brutal pairing of Aegis and Olimar to flatten his opponents. He beat Terrymain, Rizzuto, and Kameme to make top 8, where after losing to Ken 2-1, he beat Chicken, Kameme again, Ashimo, and then double eliminated Ken to take the tournament. It was a textbook Shuton weekend that he can add to an impressively long list of very strong performances. He's only missed one top 8 this entire year, at the nearly 1,000 entrant Double Down, and has a real case to be thought of as the second best player in Japan right now, right behind Ikola. He's above all of the turmoil in the Japanese meta, and beside a loss to Miya at Kageribi number 8, he hasn't lost to a Japanese player that wasn't one of Japan's top 50 players to watch at a tournament of more than 100 players since he lost to Ki in November of 2021, his first post-lockdown tournament with more than 100 attendees. Some of his fellow top 8 seeds weren't as lucky at dodging upsets. Number 1 overall seed Proto Banham lost to Chicken and Takara, who both tied for 5th and were the big stories of the tournament. Takara, the king of losers bracket, shook that trend and spent most of his time in this tournament on winner's side. Since Genesis 8, Takara has played 56 of his 82 total sets at tournaments of more than 100 players in the bracket of alternative success. Takara is starting to find his groove again, having outplaced a seed now at 3 consecutive events of at least 200 players. Not only did he take out Proto Banham at Wave, but he also picked up wins over Chaco and Rinku Ruru, a top Lucas and Minmin player from Japan, giving Takara strong momentum heading into his next event. Chicken made one of the biggest upsets in the pre-quarantine era back at Umibura SP4, when he defeated second-seeded Zachary as the event's 66th seed, an upset factor 11 win. That was back when Chicken was a wolf. Now, Chicken is a Diddy Kong, but no matter, he's still making huge upsets like the upset factor 9 win over Proto Banham that sent the Double Down champion home at 7th place. Chicken's previous best performance at a tournament of at least 200 players was 25th at Umibura SP3. This time, thanks to the upset over Proto and another upset factor 5 win over Abadongo, he was able to reach all the way to 5th at Wave Number 2. Finally, we return to the United States, where a Panda Cup finale spot was available at PAX West's Almost Pro event. While it was a great week for the working pandas, Almost Pro was the Moist show, with top 3 consisting of the 3 Moist boys that made their way to Seattle: Light, Cola, and Aaron. Entering top 4 at Almost Pro, Aaron was 0-3 against both Cola and Light, and these were all post-lockdown sets. Light sent him to losers at SmashCon Fall Fest, and Cola won at both InfinityCon 2021 and Gomel 2022. But every set had been competitive, with Aaron taking at least one game each time and pushing Cola to a Game 5 back at InfinityCon. At PAX West, Aaron clutched up. He had already earned his top 8 spot with a reverse 3-0 over WaDi. Then, he won consecutive back-and-forth Game 5s over Light, and then Cola to punch his ticket to Grand Finals on winner's side, before eliminating Cola in a 4-game set. Dating back to Momocon, Aaron has now outplaced his seed at 5 consecutive events, at CEO, SmashCon, and now Almost Pro. He has outplaced his seed by at least 3 rounds. While it might be time for seeders to start giving him a bit more respect, perhaps there's a different lesson to be earned from Aaron's victory this weekend. When it comes to seeding, why get mad when you can simply decide, I'll just win? Majors return this weekend with Riptide at the Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio, the place where we returned to major play from lockdown nearly a year ago. Mash that subscribe button and stick with PGstats as we keep you updated on all the storylines from Riptide and beyond. Thanks for watching. My name is Last, and I do so hope you've enjoyed this video, and, as always, I'll see you next time.